Do you ever wonder why people do not stand up for themselves in certain situations, especially when their rights are being violated, their space is being invaded, and their feelings are being discarded? Well, sexual harassment is one of the many situations that is difficult for one to protest against because many victims are fearful and scarred.
One of the first things someone would generally ask when an individual gets harassed is what they were wearing when the incident occurred. What the girl is wearing is not consent for her being harassed. New York Times quotes, "Harassment is a way for a man to make a woman vulnerable." Men generally harass women to have power over them. This is shown in the workplace, when women are more likely to be harassed when they do not work jobs traditionally designed for them. New York Times addresses this fact. Dr. Fitzgerald states that men see women as invading a masculine environment. These are guys whose sexual harassment has nothing to do whatever to do with sex. They're trying to scare women off a male preserve. Harassment seems to be an action that men use to hide their insecurities about their masculinity and to reiterate the fact that they are more powerful than a woman. Action needs to be done to stop harassment and to stop the continuous cycle of it being a cultural lag. Education is essential and crucial to stop harassment. Men and women view harassment completely different, states Dr. Poladi. A man believes harassment has occurred when he fondles a woman's body part. A woman's viewpoint is entirely different. A woman believes harassment has occurred the moment when she was asked a question that was not appropriate in the given setting.
Although it can be agreed universally by psychologists that there are different categories of harassment. There are 3 types of harassment: being sexually touched, being followed, and being forced into being sexually active. Harassment surveyed 2,000 people, and about 65% of women have been affected by street harassment. 23% were sexually touched, 20% were followed, 17% were flashed, and 9% were forced into being sexually active. Harassment isn't just found on the streets, it can even be found in some school environments. Some high school students have experienced it before as well. We were able to interview a high school student who was affected by this. This story starts in Conestoga High School with a freshman girl and her friends. Let's call her Emily. Every day, Emily and her friends would go to study in the school library. One of her friends, let's call him Jack, was only a friend. Jack was aware that Emily was in a relationship, and in fact, Jack was about to get a girlfriend as well. Eventually, Jack started to date Emily's friend, let's call her Amanda. This is when red flags about Jack's personality began to uncover.
A few weeks into their relationship, Jack continuously tried to make Amanda jealous by forcibly trying to hold hands with Emily in front of Amanda. Emily would tell Jack to stop, but Jack would just laugh. But Emily told herself, "That's okay, right? He's my friend." But gradually the touching got worse. Emily would consistently tell Jack to stop, but all Jack would do is laugh. One day Jack touched Emily's thigh and slowly went up. Emily was furious and decided that enough was enough and yelled at him to stop. Jack did what he knew best and laughed it off. And by that time she knew that her words meant nothing to Jack. As he continued to ignore her feelings, Emily states that the harassment slowly started to make her insecure because Jack would use power to control her. One day, Emily and Jack were walking around at school. Emily didn't tell Jack something he wanted to hear. Then out of anger, he pinned Emily against the wall. Emily had to push against Jack to be free from his anger. Jack laughed at the end, and Emily tried to brush it off because he's not being serious, right? She knew something was truly wrong at this point, but she consistently would ignore it or act oblivious to it because Jack would consistently implement in her mind that he's her friend, right? Eventually, Emily and her friends decide to team up against Jack and confront him about the situation. Jack ignored all allegations and insisted that what Emily was saying were purely lies and that she never said stop. Emily and her friends insisted that Emily had said countless times to stop. Jack avoided the situation and kept yelling that Emily never said stop. Eventually, Emily and her friends had enough and decided to peacefully walk away.
In fact, many celebrities have even been affected by sexual harassment as well. For example, the famous pop singer Taylor Swift. In 2014, DJ Mueller was caught for allegedly groping Swift at a Hollywood party. It was not until a few months later when the judge favored Swift over Mueller. Surprisingly, Taylor Swift only asked for $1 for compensation for what he had done. Many people questioned her reasoning behind asking for such a small amount. The Washington Post reported that Swift's lawsuit states that she wants her case to serve as an example to other women who may resist similar outrageous and humiliating acts. It was enforced that the trial was not about money. It was about getting justice from the man who had violated her. Her plan was to stand up for those who have been through harsh and uncomfortable situations just like herself.
Sexual harassment is dehumanizing many innocent women who have no intention of having any sexual activity with a certain man. The fact that there are still many who are scared of standing up for themselves is an issue, but with the help of many people who have been affected by it, a lot can be changed and the whole world can be a better place.